And still in Sydney, crisis talks are being held this morning to work out how to dismantle a damaged crane which erupted into flames and partially collapsed on a university roof yesterday. Live now to Nine's Amelia Ballinger for the latest. How are those discussions going this morning, Amelia?
Well, Brett, things are progressing fairly slowly here. The crane is still in place behind me. Originally, yesterday, they were talking about trying to take the crane down overnight. But with that storm we had here in Sydney, it was deemed just too risky. They're now talking about it being taken down during daylight hours. But as you can imagine, this is going to be a very lengthy and risky and delicate operation. It will take many, many hours to get it down. It will also involve a lot of road closures for safety reasons. So this is something they're still trying to work out. Now, this morning, a group of workers who were here on site yesterday when it all happened came back to the site. Many of them are trying to get back in to collect their belongings they had to leave behind when they fled the scene. They held some impromptu meetings with union officials here, just trying to work out where everything goes from this point. Obviously, this site is still shut down. No one will be working here probably for another week or so. But many of the workers have told us they had safety concerns with this site for several weeks. We were told yesterday by the union that they asked Lend-Lease to address some of those concerns about 2.5 weeks ago after workers complained of fluid leaking from that crane. We've spoken to some of those workers this morning and they've told us about those concerns and other concerns on the site, as well as the pressures they have to try and get this project completed. Take a listen to what they had to say.
The alarm didn't go off and there was people on the top slab. You're talking maybe 100 men up there.
No one was directing anything like that. We pretty much had to save ourselves.
And Amelia, echoing that the union wants the investigation to go further.
Yeah, that's right, Brett. At the moment, they are calling for immediate engineering checks on all cranes across Sydney, especially some of the inner city sites. We believe at this point that all cranes across Sydney have actually been shut down at the moment for safety checks. The union very rightly says this accident should never, ever have happened, especially after they asked Lend-Lease to address some of those concerns a couple of weeks ago. This accident put hundreds of lives in danger. We've also been told that they want independent engineers' report on the collapsed crane. I spoke this morning with the State Secretary of the CFMEU, Brian Parker. Here is what he had to say about yesterday's incident.
In the backdrop here, you can see the site across the road. The same cranes are owned by the same owner of this particular crane. We have got them halted at the moment. We want them to undergo inspections. We don't need another crane catching on fire 65 metres above the air in the CBD of Sydney.
Brett, there are also 3 other cranes owned by the same company just at a site across the road from this site. The union wants those cranes shut down as well while they're investigated. But work cover investigators are due here on site any minute now. The site is still closed for the time being, Brett.
All right, Amelia Ballinger in Sydney, thank you.